Coming to you live from the bottom of the tallest educational building in the Western Hemisphere, it's Pitt Tonight! Now please welcome your host,
Jesse
Welcome to Pitt Tonight. Welcome. We are kicking off the celebration of Women's Empowerment Week. Oh yeah, in honor of this occasion, I'm wearing women's underwear.
Do you?
Yeah, not saying that's unusual for me, but this time I'm doing it in honor of women. You know, this is our 11th episode of Pitt Tonight. Or is it the second?
It's 11.
You know, we're here in beautiful Alumni Hall. There's so much history attached to this place. Right? Think about it. Getting your first free Pitt t-shirt. Getting your second free Pitt t-shirt. And even getting your third free Pitt t-shirt. Historical place here at Alumni Hall. That's right, Alumni Hall. A place built by alumni, for alumni. And actually, a lot of these walls are made of alumni. We'd like to thank some of our sponsors for the evening, so many of them. We have the Resident Student Association with us tonight. Yeah, so if you've ever wanted to do anything illegal in your dorms, now's your chance. Hey, oh, and we're very excited to have Film Studies as one of our sponsors. Tonight, we would like to thank our other sponsors for the show. There are so many, almost too many to count. Student Government Board, Pitt Dance Marathon, Women in Business, Pitt Women's Rugby Football Club, Gamma Sigma Sigma, Pitt Women's Ultimate Frisbee, Pitt Women in Business, Women's Choral Ensemble, Pitt Charge, Lady Ice Panthers, Female Empowerment Movement, Pitt Ballet Club, Pitt Women's Ultimate Team, Pitt Knits, Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers, Society of Women Engineers, Pitt Tonight, and Black Action Society, all here this evening to celebrate. Woo! Wow. Oh boy. Now before we start one heck of an evening, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a look at the news. El Chapo's lawyers, you hear about this? El Chapo's lawyers say they want President Trump to deport the drug lord to Mexico for his trial. Trump responded saying, now these guys get it.
Good role model.
Making a little more sense, right? Hey, Hillary Clinton says she's, quote, ready to come out of the woods and be in the spotlight again. Yeah, no, she's ready. This is, of course, in reference to her life since the election, where she has haunted young children in the woods. I think it's time. South Korean women are now projected to be the first in the world to have an average life expectancy of above 90 years. Yeah. And you know the great thing about 90-year-old South Korean women is I get older, but they stay the same age.
Yikes.
Yeah. Firehouses across the country say they're concerned by the lack of new volunteer firemen. And I think they're getting a little desperate for volunteers with this new offer that says for every 2 fires you put out, you can start 1.
Sounds like a good deal.
You would think. You would think it's not. I guess not. Hey, this is interesting, Raga. A new report says that chicken served at Subway is only 50% chicken. Yeah, makes sense coming from a restaurant that's 0% a Subway. We've got a great show for you tonight. Give it up for the Allies of the Boulevard. Tonight, everyone, we have so much in store for you this evening. We have a demonstration. We have Sydney Harper here. Any Sydney Harper fans here? We have Dr. Jerry Allen here. We have Yabaso, the African dance team here. Oh yeah, the show is packed. It's crazy. You know what? Any March Madness fans out there? Anyone? Hey, it's March, and that means March Madness, right? The men's teams are always getting a ton of attention, and sometimes the ladies' teams get overlooked, right? So in honor of Women's Empowerment Week, we'd like to give you an update on the first annual 2017 Famous Women's Tournament. We've had a lot of exciting moments so far between some of the greatest women in history. So let's take a look at the games that have already wrapped up so far. First up, 5-seed Hillary Clinton faced off against the 12th-seeded Condoleezza Rice. Clinton dominated the boards, scored more points, but in the end was thwarted by her old nemesis, the Electoral College. Unbelievable, folks. Twice in one season. Hey, do you hear about this? The 8th seed and TV personality Martha Stewart defeated 9th seed and chimpanzee expert Jane Goodall. Stewart got in early foul trouble for insider trading. However, Goodall choked away the game late by studying monkeys for 55 years. Should have taken a look at the scoreboard, Jane. Next, to catch up... Oh, hold on. Yeah. How could I forget you? Next, to catch up on the games happening right this very second. These two have been favorites with worldwide followings. Pop music sensation Madonna versus the Madonna, Mary, mother of Christ. Mary took an early lead by giving birth to a prophet who changed religion forever, while Madonna wrote Vogue. More to come on this one. We have Rosa Parks, 3-seed, up against Kellyanne Conway. Somehow an 18-seed. A tie game with only 5 minutes to go right now. Both appear to be sitting on the bench. In a game that has just finished in double overtime, renowned chef Julia Child has beaten your mom. We're at the halftime of the Mother Teresa Eleanor Roosevelt game. Roosevelt currently leads 41-35, but Mother Teresa did end the half on a miraculous half-court shot. Of course, if the refs decide that the shot was actually a divine miracle, she'll be disqualified. Starting, yeah. I'm seeing if you're ready. Starting now, we have an interesting matchup between Joan of Arc and Amelia Earhart. Joan has taken an early lead, while Earhart just looks lost out there. Oh boy. And lastly, we just got word that another game has gone final. Fan favorite and creator of the American flag, Betsy Ross, was just edged out by the Duke men's basketball team. What can I say, folks? They're a dynasty. We'll check back in on the coverage later, and we will be right back with jazz pianist Jerry Allen. Stick around, everyone. Welcome back to Pitt tonight. Our first guest is a Grammy-nominated jazz pianist and composer who is also the director of the Jazz Studies program here at Pitt. Please welcome Dr. Jerry Allen. I'll walk you to your chair. Now, we can't start this without recognizing the fact you know a couple of those people over there.
Yes, I do, and kudos to the band. So I know Ryan and Dan, Aiden is over there, and who else do we? Howdy guys.
Wow, yeah, we took your entire Jazz Studies program and just turned it into a band. It worked out nicely. You're from Detroit, but you're a Pitt alum.
I am. I went to Pitt many, many years ago and studied ethnomusicology under Nathan Davis.
Nathan Davis. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you then take his job?
Well, not quite that way. So I was fortunate to be a part of the group of people who were vying for the job, and I was fortunate enough to get it.
Wow. What year was that?
Well, I've been here now for 4 years.
4 years.
This is my 4th year.
Okay, wow. So you're a professor here, and you've come a very long way as an artist, as a performing artist. Do you mind just walking me through, I mean, obviously we could sit here for hours and talk about it, but what is it like to come up in the music industry, in jazz, in an industry that is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's very dominated by men in a lot of ways. So to come up in that era, and what is that like, what was that like for you? I can't speak today, but yes. What is that like for you?
You're doing great. Well, I have to say, my mom and my father, they both really were behind both my brother and I, and really influenced us around the arts and staying diligent and practice. I couldn't go out and play and do normal stuff until I, spent the time practicing. And then I think after years and years of making a decision that this is really what I wanted to do, you kind of decide these are different places that you can go where there are support systems.
Yeah.
And fortunately, they were there, intact in Detroit, where I grew up. A woman named Bess Bonnier, who was a blind pianist, spent a lot of time with me as a young player. And there was like a really strong, like Pittsburgh, this sense of getting behind the young people that were coming up.
Yeah, and I mean now, looking back, you've toured with the Supremes?
Yes, and I heard the song on Motown Classics, yes. Yeah. So I worked with Mary Wilson for some years, and she, along with the Supremes, we toured London and Australia and lots of different places.
Wow. I know this is the women's empowerment episode, but you're naming women who have influenced you. I mean, that's awesome. Was that a trend, or were those people did they just speak to you more? Like, tell me how these women have empowered you, and were there more women that empowered you in jazz? Well,
yes, there's a woman actually here from here in Pittsburgh named Mary Lou Williams, who's been a huge inspiration. And through the years, I've been studying her music. I continue to and perform her music. And she takes you on a journey, you know, by being a part of that musical heritage that she's established. You learn so much.
Yeah.
You know, she comes from looking people like Jelly Roll Morton in the eye all the way to Cecil Taylor. So people like that. And I wanted to mention a woman named Betty Carter.
Betty Carter.
Who was a great vocalist, great jazz vocalist, who took me on the road as a younger musician, along with Jack DeJohnette and Dave Holland, and people like that who believe in you and say, okay, let me give this young person a chance,
Yeah.
you know. And now I'm working with a number of young women in girls' jazz camp
Yeah.
to give them similar kinds of mentoring that many of us, people like myself and Terry Lynn Carrington and Esperanza Spalding, who are, this young woman was doing really great things today. And so you want to give this next generation of young women those kinds of support systems.
Absolutely. Now, are you still touring? Are you still, I mean,
I am.
We managed to get you here, but it is a Sunday evening, so a lot of people don't necessarily do, but you are. So where are you going? How often are you leaving Pitt?
Well, I'm here during the semester, but say in the summers, I spend most of my time out on the road. So I am doing some performing during the semester, but generally they would be on weekends and opportunities where we would play, say, a Friday or Saturday night concert.
Yeah.
I'm playing with McCoy Tyner in a few weeks in a concert similar.
Oh, wow.
We're going to Switzerland to play with him.
Switzerland. Have you been?
I have. I've been there.
Wow. Have you played there before?
I played in Switzerland before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is a festival.
Me too, yeah. It's great to tour there. No, that's wonderful. So, I mean, you were a graduate student at Pitt, and now you're a professor at Pitt. I feel like I'm not doing the question justice if I don't ask, like, how has Pitt changed? Was there a $5 pizza when you were there? Was there, I don't know. What was it like?
I know I'm looking that old.
No.
No, just
Can we start over? Yeah, no. No, but seriously, I mean, it's probably changed. It's changed in the last 5 years, so.
well, it has changed a lot. I think as undergrads, I think the lifestyle and really experiencing what campus life is today is so vibrant today.
Yeah.
You know, I really admire the work that's being done here to kind of really empower the young people, especially undergrads. I think this lifestyle is really
Right.
just watching all of the kinds of things that are available today. I wasn't as involved as a grad student because I was kind of very much in the books and just doing that and
Yeah.
writing theses, and so I didn't get a lot of that social experience, but I really get a sense that it's a very rich experience here.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Wow. So, I want to ask all of our guests this today, but something I'm wondering is, how would you define women's empowerment, and how would you define what it means to be a confident, empowered woman?
Well, I think, the idea of having choices, I think is a big one for me. The fact that when you have choices, then you can kind of sculpt your life and you can make decisions that result in a richer quality of life. So the more choices you have, I think the more opportunities you have to really experience that quality of life. So, I mean, in terms of women's empowerment, I would like to see just the same kinds of opportunities that I had as a young person, where you have folks that are really interested to mentor young women and to, I guess, to give the message across that anything is possible, that anything that you dream that you can achieve,
Yeah.
and just to go after it.
Wow. That's awesome. As someone who's very involved with music and jazz in particular, for those who aren't musically inclined or as in touch with the jazz scene as you are, or as these guys are, what can you take away from jazz beyond the music? Because I know there is a lot. I was talking to Dan about this for a while the other week, and we were talking about how you're just talking about how there is so much more to it. I know you teach jazz improvisation, right, and stuff like that. And there's such chemistry that needs to be done, whether it's the Allies of the Boulevard or whomever. What do you personally take away from jazz beyond the notes that you're playing?
Well, as I'm listening to these guys, and I'm really enjoying, over there, listening, you have a sense of community with the group, Everybody's finding their space and finding their place within that space so that they don't interrupt another person, and that they give empowerment to the voice that's speaking.
Right.
So you have different voices moving in and out.
Right.
And certain times, one voice may be stronger than the other, so everyone rallies behind the stronger voice. And so it's really about community. It's really about being sensitive and listening.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you were nominated for a Grammy. I want to get this right, so I'm going to read it off my computer if you're okay. You were the first woman to win the Lady of Soul Award, which just sounds awesome. The Danish Jazz Par Prize. You were the first woman and the youngest person to receive that. You now teach at Pitt, and we were just very, very fortunate to have you join us. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you,
on.
Jesse.
We have a lot more. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Tonight, our next guest is a bioengineering student here at the University of Pittsburgh. She works to inspire and motivate young girls in STEM through her work with multiple student organizations. She also dressed as the Cathedral of Learning for Halloween. Please join me in welcoming Sydney Cannon Bailey.
Science?
I'm ready to science.
Awesome. Well, to be ready to science, you have to wear some protective equipment here. So we have goggles and a lab coat.
Okay, what do I put on first?
Whichever's easiest.
Okay. Should I take my jacket off? Like, what should I? Okay.
It's business casual. You could take it off.
Biz cash. All right. How are you doing? What's new? What's the latest?
What's new? What's the latest?
Yeah, update me.
Update you. Well, my Cathedral of Learning costume was a huge success.
I'm so happy that worked out.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys found that picture too.
Yeah, totally.
A little bit of sleuthing. Okay.
So your major is?
I am majoring in bioengineering and minoring in electrical engineering.
Wow.
Yep.
That's really cooler than I'm doing. Much cooler. That wasn't even English. See, I can't do anything. All right.
We don't learn English in engineering.
No.
So
All right.
It's fine.
So, I feel so cool. So, what are we up to today? What are you showing me that I don't know?
So today we're going to study a wide range of sciences.
Okay.
We're going to talk about biology, we're going to talk about chemistry, and we're going to talk about electronics. Does that sound fun? There we go. Yeah, right?
Okay, so what are we doing first?
The first one we're doing is called Insta-Snow.
Oh, no
And
way.
I'm sure we don't have enough snow in Pittsburgh already.
Yeah.
So we're just going to keep adding to it.
Well, so it just comes in a bag?
Yes, it's all you need.
That's just snow in a bag.
That's how it works up in the clouds.
Wait, so what?
It's just in a bag.
That's it?
Yes. That's all they teach you in school these
What do
days.
you, wow.
So
I
all
want to
we
be a
need-
STEM major. That's incredible.
So all you need is this powder.
Okay.
And you'll watch that it absorbs a bunch of water right up and creates snow.
All right. Okay. So what chemical reaction's happening right now that I don't know?
Oh, it is just absorbing water. There's not really a chemical reaction.
You mind?
Yeah, go for it. No snowballs,
Wow. Okay, so why is this, what? I just don't I can't even ask a question. I don't know anything.
Each of these molecules are super dehydrated, so they look like powder. But when you add the water to it, they expand and create snow.
Wow. So what got you to major in these things and be interested in instant snow?
Well, instant snow is only one of my passions.
So multifaceted.
Please. I originally was going to go straight for mathematics. I was really interested in math. I really enjoy logic compared to whatever you guys do in classes.
We have very tough courses.
Yeah? All right.
We had to watch a movie the other day.
Are you serious?
No, yeah.
That must have been so awful.
No, there was a paper too, but
That sounds awful.
yeah.
That actually sounds awful.
Thank you.
But just doing equations, I really enjoy logic, and I was very talented when I was younger in math and science, and I was at a college fair once, and I saw neuroprosthetics, and I was so inspired by that I asked them, I was like, what kind of field would I have to go into to do this?
Yeah.
And he said, bioengineering.
Bioengineering.
I was like, that's it.
So
That's
you just
what I'm
listen
doing.
to them.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's half of life.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what's it like, and I wouldn't be doing this episode justice, what is it like being a female in a STEM major?
Being a female in a STEM major can occasionally be challenging, but I think that it's super rewarding. I think, especially as someone who has younger siblings and a lot of family members kind of look up to, being able to persevere in a subject that may not always accept people that they want.
Wow. So how do you deal with this? Like if I'm a female in STEM,
Okay?
hypothetical.
Imagination. Okay.
Imagination. So this is what we learn in our major. I'm a female in STEM. I go to make Insta Snow, and you're the mean boy who says you don't know anything about Insta Snow, right? Mm-hmm. What do you do? How do you react? Are you telling someone? Are you ignoring it? Like, I feel like that's got to actually end up being really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to deal with. The first couple times I kind of experienced things like that, I definitely straight ignored them. I was, I thought in my head, I was like, well, they obviously don't understand how biology works, so they're not really up to par.
Right.
But
Yeah, I like it.
But I think after the first couple times, I realized that even though ignoring it was fine for me, it didn't really solve anything on the other end. So I think that it's really important, and I know it takes a lot of courage, and it's really tough sometimes, but I think it's really important to stop for a second and say, why do you think this? What can I show you to prove that you're wrong? And I think that maybe that's just because, again, I enjoy logic, I like explanations, I like evidence behind things, but I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with the fact that girls are very high achievers.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've learned something.
That's my major. I just had to learn that. No, I have 3 sisters. They've taught me pretty well.
Good.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. So
Yeah.
now you know. I mean, not now you know, but you know how to do all this stuff that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. So what's next? What are we doing here?
So this is actually a little bit of an original attempt at playing piano, but with vegetables.
With vegetables.
Yes. I don't know how you feel about asparagus, but I think it's a great vegetable, actually.
It makes my pee smell bad, but aside from that, like.
Yeah, that does occasionally happen, but take one for the team, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No. For music.
For music.
For jazz. No.
I
just for
cannot
music.
promise a jazz serenade here, but.
So how does this work?
So what we've got going on back here is actually a makey kit.
What? You just make up names for stuff and like us
Yes.
humanities majors believe you?
Yes, that's exactly how it works.
Ah, the makey.
It's a super simple kit that you can buy for, I don't think it's more than $20. You get a bunch of alligator clips here. That's a real term.
That's a
also.
term? That's a real
Yes,
thing?
That's a real term. And each of these individual clips is clipped to a piece of asparagus.
Okay.
And each of these spots on the circuit board correspond to a certain key on my keyboard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if I pressed a key on my keyboard, I could play some music, right?
Yeah.
That's like cool, but I mean, you could do that on that keyboard.
You're right.
So
What?
it's a lot cooler on asparagus.
That's what vegetables are for. Oh. Wow, that's very cool.
It's very cool.
So explain are you completing the circuit with your body?
I am. So right now, the circuit goes from the asparagus down through the clip to the kit to my computer.
But then it's like, well, what do I do now? So
Right.
I bring my finger over here while I'm holding this other clip, and I create a full circuit to make a piano sound.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was telling you this earlier. I feel like my answer to every science question is, and that makes a circuit. You know, so
That's a good default, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So can I try this? Okay. So
right ahead.
You hold the thing.
Yep, hold the thing with one hand.
Do I need to clip it on or just hold it?
Depends on your pain tolerance.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold
Yeah,
it.
there you go. Yeah, good choice.
And then I'm just hitting the asparagus.
Lightly.
That's so neat. I love it. Very cool. Thank you so much for showing us the asparagus piano.
Anytime.
Wow.
And like I said, this is so easy to make. You don't need any special software on your computer. You
Yeah.
just plug this into your computer, grab whatever fruit or vegetable you have sitting around, which for me was asparagus because
Right.
I don't think you can argue it's a great vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Eli, you don't have to carry your keyboard up here.
Just stop at Giant Eagle on your way home before you rehearse.
Giant Eagle has the best keyboards in the business. All right. And our last thing, and I want to ask you a question. You're living, where are you living at school? What's that been like for you?
I'm actually off campus.
Off campus.
I am on North Dithridge Street in a house of 7 other girls.
Any Dithridge people here?
Woo!
Are those the 7 girls?
That's possibly
Okay,
that, yes.
yeah. Very
Sounds like
cool.
there's maybe 3, but it's a good turnout.
Okay, sweet. Welcome. Hi. Okay, so let's try. Well, this is just a box.
This is just a box right now.
Got it.
But there's probably stuff in this box.
Yeah. Right. Wow.
So the idea of this experiment is we're trying to create something called elephant toothpaste. And no, it's not literally used to brush elephants' teeth.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Gotcha.
just checking that you were, yeah.
So while you're doing this,
Yep.
can you tell me and I asked Dr. Allen this as well, how would you define female empowerment?
I would define female empowerment as allowing girls the same chance to achieve things that men do. And I think that's really important. And I think sometimes it's hard for other people to put themselves in their shoes. But it's really tough going into an environment where it's all males and nobody really understands your point of view or anything. So I think sometimes it kind of seems unfair. And I think that's why some people have an issue with female empowerment is the idea that you're giving one gender an unfair advantage or something.
Yeah.
But I think that some people realize that sometimes it's not an unfair advantage, it's a very fair advantage.
Right.
And we appreciate it.
That's what I never understood. Like people who are against equal rights for whether it's women or a race or a religion, they don't want better chance. They just want equal rights. That's just fair chance.
Yeah, equal pay, equal rights, anything along those terms would be great.
That would be wonderful.
We would appreciate it, yes. All right, so like I said, this experiment is called elephant toothpaste.
Yeah.
And
Why is it called that?
you know, elephant toothpaste definitely isn't the first thing I think of when I see this either. You all can make your own judgments.
Is this a beaker? What is that?
This is called a graduated cylinder. That's when after graduation, a cylinder gets a cap and it throws its tassel and it's got a degree.
Are you You should write for us. Are you
It'll
big?
be all science jokes.
Well, I was gonna say, is STEM humor a big thing?
STEM humor is such a big thing, and it's, like I said, a couple people from my house are here, but I'm known to be the nerdy one. I think they're great jokes, actually.
Yeah.
I think they're really great jokes. I don't think people appreciate them enough sometimes.
So what did you just pour into what?
I just poured, so we started off with some hydrogen peroxide, okay? That's H2O2. So it's like hydrogen, or it's like water, but with an extra oxygen molecule.
Is that a household item?
Yeah, you usually use hydrogen peroxide for
stuff.
cuts. Yeah. It could also
That's
be
what I
used for
meant.
cleaning. Whatever you use it for. It's
Like Neosporin or like?
yeah, sort of.
Okay.
That was
But
a no.
Yeah, sure, idiot. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't say that one. That was like
No, I said that. It's okay.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
The issue with our hydrogen peroxide is it is a lot more concentrated than the hydrogen peroxide you usually use for those cuts and scrapes.
Okay.
Which means it can be a little bit corrosive to your skin, but we're probably fine. That's good.
Probably fine.
Yes, probably.
Okay.
So what happens is I'm going to pour some yeast into this graduated cylinder. And the yeast has an enzyme called catalase. Catalase?
Catalase?
Catalase.
Catalase.
Yes.
Catalase.
Yes.
Catalase.
You got it.
Got it. Done.
Yes.
Okay.
And what happens is the catalase rapidly decomposes the hydrogen peroxide, and then it splits it up into an H2O molecule and an O molecule. So you've got the water.
And the oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You got it. There you go.
That was such a pity. Yo, there you go, buddy.
We've all started from somewhere.
You'll give me my sticker backstage. The gold star. All right.
So then we added in detergent because detergent doesn't really mix well with water all the time. So it's going to try and trap all the oxygen in here.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah, totally cool.
All right.
I think. Is it gonna I know we talked, it's not gonna like explode?
There was one time I got it on my face while I was practicing it, but you're probably fine. Don't worry about it.
What? What? Okay. Oh.
Ooh!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not what I think of when I think of elephant toothpaste,
But it looks so cool.
doesn't it?
So, it's kind of freaking out. What? That looks awesome. Jeez, I shouldn't touch it?
You can touch the foam. The foam will be fine.
I'm gonna go with the snow. That snow seems fine. So last question for you. What would you tell a girl who's coming to Pitt or going to college and she wants to be an engineer or a scientist or a chemist? And so it's weird when I'm talking.
You can keep the snow if you want.
I might.
Okay.
So, no. But what would you tell her if she's afraid to enter these fields because there aren't as many females in that area, or simply she's just afraid of the environment that she might be entering?
Absolutely. I would say go for everything that you want to do. I think that's what I was taught when I was younger. I was really lucky to have parents that were very equal about treating genders. And I think that I never learned that there was a difference between genders, so I was like, oh, of course I can do everything.
Right.
And I think that sometimes girls are taught to kind of stay within the lines, you know, be very docile, gentle, like you can't speak out against anything, but I would say don't be afraid to speak out, don't be afraid to go find help, and just live your life, because you shouldn't let anyone else control your life.
Cindy, everyone, we will be right back with a lot more. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
I'm glad it didn't fall on the ground.
Exactly how it was gonna. We now bring you an update from our earlier reported famous women's March Madness bracket. Yeah, it looks like Joan of Arc is really on fire. From 3-point range. And Amelia Earhart is not doing too good either. It says she's crashing real hard, but we're not going to read that. Oh, man. Let's just move on. Our final guest is the Executive Vice President of Pitt Student Government Board and the founder of Women's Empowerment Week. Hey, that's what we're doing. Here she is. Give it up for Sydney Harper, everybody! Should we dance? Wow. This is... I thought it would happen at some point, but I was just waiting. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Last time you were on Pitt Tonight, you were running for student government.
I was. It was a fun time.
You made it.
I did. I'm here.
You're here. I think you'd probably be here anyways. I'm just like, congrats.
I hope. Yes, thank you,
I
sir.
forgot to
Thank
say
you.
that to
Thank you.
Wow. You're a very busy person. Do you go to class? I guess is my first question for you.
Everyone.
Everyone?
No, not at all.
Same here. All of them. I go to every class, right? We do that.
Absolutely.
All of them.
Absolutely.
SGB does a lot of weeks, and there are a lot of weeks at Pitt, around different issues, whether it's mental health awareness, any of them. That's just one to name a few. But why did you pursue Women's Empowerment Week?
Well, I pursued women's, so I want to go back to real quick with the weeks. I know one thing about the weeks that's really important is I want to take Board Member LaGuerta's, she had a SHRA week, we called it SHRA. It was talking kind of about like sexual health and why it's important to talk about. And we had an event where, we had a women's specialist, a women's health specialist come and talk and answer questions. And the event itself wasn't even the biggest part. It was afterwards, the ripple that it creates after that, where I went home to my roommates and had a 2-hour conversation about women's health and what they're doing and what what it means and what it means to them. And so that's the ripple that those different kinds of weeks create, is the conversation on campus. So that's kind of why I wanted Women's Empowerment Week, to create that kind of ripple of, we have these events, we have these conversations, we have these art exhibits, we have these celebratory galas, and we have movie screenings and discussions after, and then we send our students and our the people who attend out into campus and the world and the community to kind of create that change in those conversations and what they do. So that's kind of what the week is about. It's to remind people to always bring those kinds of ideas into everything they do.
Totally. Now, where did you get the ideas for the events? Like, I mean, there's so much I want to ask you. I have a list of like 80 questions, but I'm kind of picking and choosing.
I'm ready.
I mean, what is that? Let's see what I had here. I mean, honestly, you're an idea woman. You are very much all about the ideas. How do you, when you first think of this, what are you thinking? Like, I want to get a crew together to set this up? Or are you thinking, a gala and all this stuff? What was your process of coming up with it?
Yes, can I change Idea Woman? Instead of being Executive Vice President, can I just change my title to Idea Woman? I like that.
Yes.
Is Natalie here? Can I do that?
Do it.
Okay, so what happened was this started kind of in the summer, I had ideas for it, and I realized I needed a committee of people because I really wanted to bring as many groups into this as possible, because this is an idea and this is a movement that requires a lot of perspectives, and it requires a lot of work from a lot of different realms. So, some of the first groups I asked were BAS, were CWO, Panhell. We had Pitt Tonight kind of get involved with kind of marketing, creating the show. We had a lot of different groups get involved with the week and with the planning on the committee. Yeah. And the list goes on. We had Pitt Femme, Female Empowerment Movement. We've had all kinds of different groups, MSA, or Muslim Student Association. And so that was the kind of crew that we created to bring as many perspectives to the table as possible to realize what needed to be done. So what a squad. It was a hashtag squad goals every time. I have cried in meetings because I was so empowered. I was like, the ideas, just everyone's so bad, everyone's so amazing.
They're like, Sydney, you've been in the corner crying for 20 minutes. We need to get the meeting done.
But actually, though, it's happened. And just kind of having all those different ideas come together, and like knowing we needed an art show, we needed a kind of celebratory gala, knowing that we needed a film, kind of ways to express these different ideas.
There's so much. I have a schedule right here. So tomorrow night is the art exhibit. It's the opening event for the week, and then Tuesday is Leslie Jones. Wednesday is the Girl Rising film screening.
Yes, that's going to be fun. Tomorrow we actually changed it so that...
Oh, you switched it up?
We switched it. Switched it up.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have everyone kind of come throughout the day, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yep, that's the hours of the gallery. And, people can kind of just go throughout and walk with themselves and kind of see it. There's so many amazing things on display. We worked on it yesterday, and I broke down a couple times because I was so emotional. There were so many cool things. I'm a crier.
Yeah. No, we can't tell.
And so there's like so many different kinds of pieces. There are posters, there are drawings and paintings and things. So 10 to 5 tomorrow. Come through.
Light refreshments.
Not tomorrow during the hours, but
awesome.
we changed it. We changed it up on everybody.
And you get OCC credit for it.
And you do. You can. So make sure to stop on bye. And then, yes, Tuesday's Leslie Jones. We are very excited about that. Pitt Program Council is the best. And they, contributed Leslie Jones to the week, and we're excited to kind of have her come. And some people won tickets. Anyone? Yeah? Yes, there we go. I can't see. There it is.
It took them 20 minutes to realize they won anyway. So.
Yes, so we're very excited to have you come. And that's 8:30 in the William Pitt Union.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, yes, is the screening of Girl Rising, which
cool.
I cried.
It's a CNN documentary?
It is, yes. It's moving and powerful, and it will change you when you leave. So, yes.
And then the event that you'll be crying at on Thursday is the Gala, which is, Was this you? Who came up with it, and how long did it take for you to get over the pun? It's amazing.
I don't remember the moment when we came up with it, but it did honestly take some of our committee members until about 3 weeks ago to get the gala part.
Oh, to actually realize
To actually realize that's why we've been calling it the gala. And I hope people know that we know gala doesn't have a dash in it, but it's gala. Get it? Gal. I'm saying it one more time. Gal. There we go. So everyone gets it.
I originally read Women's Empowerment Week as, whoa, Men's Empowerment Week. So I'm not that surprised. I've been waiting to make that joke for about 3 weeks now, and I'm really glad it worked out. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's all a ruse. We set it up for you, Jesse.
Sid, what does it mean to you to be an empowered woman?
A lot of different things. One thing I know, and this is what we, with the Pitt Women's Leadership Experience, the retreat that's happening at the end of the week, happened last year. One thing that we want to make sure we instill in all the young women on Pitt's campus is everyone has a light that's inside of them. It sounds a little, sounds really dramatic, but it's true. Everyone has a light inside of them, and what you can do is when you interact with people, when you go out into the community and you do whatever work you do, share that light with other people. So to be empowered as a woman means, it means that you know that light that's inside of you, and it also means that sometimes we have to think about what we might be thinking or saying or doing, and whether or not that's something that society's put on us. And sometimes it's hard. You might sometimes think a detracting thought, and I sometimes think, oh, I'm being too mean, or oh, this person's not going to like me. And I sometimes have to say, hold on. I don't have to be liked by everyone. So you know what I mean? So sometimes it's stepping back and taking those thoughts. We sometimes think we have to be liked by everyone. So and then it's also helping others and other women remember to have those thoughts as well.
Empowering those around you.
Yeah, it's empowering yourself and empowering those around you, and making sure we always kind of remember to think on that track. So yeah.
Do you have so your female Hall of Fame? Who is in it? Who makes the cut?
Okay, well, aside from my mom.
Your mom, your sister?
My mom, my sister, amazing women who empower me, inspire me every day. Harriet Tubman, and if you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, I'm gonna need you to get schooled, because my girl Harriet, she's where it's at. Harriet Tubman did not take no stuff. So
how many times did she, so wait, correct me, was it like 19 times?
19 times.
She went back to the south?
Yes, she escaped. She escaped. She went north, and then what she did was she realized she wanted to bring others with her. And her freedom. She valued her freedom, but she valued the freedom of everyone else as well. I know Nelson Mandela has a quote like that. Like, I value my own freedom, but I really care for your freedom as well. So she went back to free over like 300 different slaves. That courage, that idea of reaching back always and always bringing others with you. I mean, Harriet Tubman is my girl.
So she makes the cut. But she clearly makes the cut. Who else?
She sets the cut.
You're a media girl. Oprah's in there, right?
Oh yes, Queen. Queen Oprah, yes.
Oprah's in there.
Oprah,
Robin Roberts.
Yes, she comes into your house every morning. Or, Good Morning America, everything. Also Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama. Yeah.
Have you sing the entire song?
I don't know more than that. I know. I know. I don't know the rest of it. Yeah. That's it.
That was it. That's it. Okay. Phew. Who else? I mean, there's so many people. I feel like Katie Couric's in there.
Katie Couric, Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
I think she's just an upper echelon of acting. She's amazing. RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
RBG, Sonia Sotomayor.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They are all on my list of women who just are an upper echelon, and they just you can't touch them. You cannot touch what they do, and you can only aspire to be like them.
Yeah, I love that. You were in DC for the march, right?
I was.
How was that?
I went there. So I'm from DC, DMV out there. Yes, what's up? DMV is not the Department of Motor Vehicles. It means DC, Maryland, Virginia. For everyone who doesn't
Department of Motor Vehicles. What up?
Yeah. So I went to the DMV back for the march, and I'm from there. So I got a squad, a ragtag team of excited individuals.
Yeah.
It wasn't that dramatic. It was literally just, hey.
Make it sound like you went in like a cargo van. You just got down there.
Yeah, no, we weren't some rogue team. We just we went down and stayed at my house and went down on the day. We went to the metro station. We took the train in with everyone. I mean, the vibes were amazing.
Yeah.
People were being pushed, but then they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." You know, there was people.
Well, it's a bunch of women. You know, if you get a bunch of like men, like at a football, they don't care. They can knock you over. But if you get women, of course, that's amazing. That's probably the most peaceful protest of all time.
It was beautiful. I mean, there were women, there were men, there were children, there was everyone, and it was beautiful to see signs for all these different kinds of issues. And so it was really, it really brought together a lot of ideas, and it was kind of inspiring to see that many people. I mean, I could not see past a sea of heads, and at a time, I did want to break down and cry because I was like excited, but also really scared for my own safety. It was really scared to be packed like in that many people. But.
Yeah, but you were with people you knew, which helps.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so much fun to go with friends and like just talk about it. And we were smiling the entire time.
Yeah.
Our feet we wanted to like cut our own feet off, and just like my feet hurt at the end of the day, but it was fun.
Oh my gosh.
It was
so, you and I have been at Pitt for 4 years now.
4 years.
Watch
Don't make
each
me
other
cry.
grow.
Don't make me cry, Jesse. Don't do it.
It's been so good getting to know you.
Yeah.
Oh. What would you say you've learned about yourself or how would you say you've grown that you either didn't expect or that you can now look back and say, wow, I've really come this far? Because I mean, we've done a ton of stuff like together, whether it was media stuff or active stuff, but like I mean, you've taken it to such an incredible level. I feel like you've learned a lot. What do you think you would say has been one of the best lessons that you've learned that you might not have intended to learn?
I'd say some of the best lessons I've learned from all the people I've worked with, you included. I remember in our first Pitt News meetings, it was so funny because you had all these crazy ideas. You were like, let's strap a GoPro onto a dog and like let it film it walking around the cathedral. And I was like, this guy's got ideas. He's an idea guy.
It's not a good idea.
I mean, we all grow.
Let's put a GoPro on Ophelia and see what happens.
Jesse, we all grow. It's fine.
Right.
You've grown.
Yeah, that's what I learned is stop giving ideas like that.
Yeah, but so it's kind of with that, like, even though, we have all these ideas and it's awesome to just go out and do them. One thing I've really learned is, we have these ideas on campus and all these amazing students I've met on campus have great ideas, and sometimes it's just like, you just gotta go and do them, you gotta, there's a lot of power in the idea of like, okay, just do it. If you wanna join something new, if you wanna start something new, if you want to run for something, if you wanna volunteer somewhere, if you wanna meet a new person, I don't know, like just do it. And I think there's a lot of power in like what we all can do when we just do it. And then we tell someone, hey, you can do it. And then you look back after all the work and the lack of sleep and the stress and the fun, of course. And then you're like, I did it. So it's great.
It's worth it. Yeah. That's something you and I have talked about a lot. But it really is getting kids who are very interested in doing something, but they're afraid to join. It's daunting to them. It's scary. Just giving them a little help, a little push, and it goes such a long way. I mean, that's how we got involved with stuff.
Absolutely. That's something that's really important to me is with Pitt Women's Leadership Experience, PWLE, it's a mentorship experience, and I know that as young women, sometimes on campus, you need to look up to some of the other people to see what can be done, what's possible, to have someone guide you and give you some of the advice, the input, and like just the guidance that they've gotten.
Totally.
And that is something that's always been important to me. So I'm really excited for the weekend and to bring all these young, amazing, phenomenal women together to just buzz.
This whole week is going to be nuts.
It's going to be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
Crazy empowering. Yes. just putting it in there.
Throwing it in there.
Plugging it.
You and I, like I said, we know each other pretty well. I'd like to quiz you to see how well you actually know me.
All right.
We submitted some questions to our writing team, and I'm not going to look. These are yours to ask.
Okay.
But you can go first, and may the best woman or man win.
Okay. So what is my favorite food, Jesse?
Do I have choices, or
Oh, yes, that's true. Birthday cake, water, market grilled cheese, or quiche Lorraine?
quiche Lorraine?
Absolutely. That's it. Good job, good job.
I know you so well.
You passed, you passed.
Here we go. Sydney, when did we first meet? Was it A, in Towers, B, at the Pitt News, C, a seminar on how to be overexposed on your college campus,
Tough.
or D, a sidewalk?
I'm gonna say, it's a tough one. The Pitt News.
When we did the Pitt News Network when we were sophomores, Sydney would always introduce and be like, welcome to the Pitt News! And
Yep.
it was just so emphatic, and that's adorable.
Thank you,
and
there it is.
we're the only ones enjoying
Yeah,
it.
that's just for you.
There we go. All right, your turn.
My turn. What are my sisters' names? These are going to stump you. Kelly and Taylor, Telly and Kaylor, not Jessie 1 and not Jessie 2, Quiche and Lorraine.
Keisha and Lorraine are your aunts.
True.
Kelly and Taylor.
That's right. Kelly and Taylor are my
Okay.
sisters, not Telly and Kaylor.
Not Telly.
Just a tosser.
Telly Kaylor, I said hi. Here we go. Oh, I skipped one. All right. What are my sisters' names? A, not Jessie 1, not Jessie 2, and not Jessie 3. B, Buttercup, Blossom, and Bubbles. C, Jillian, Hannah, and Rose. And D, a three-way tie for our favorite child.
I'm going to guess Jillian, Hannah, and Rose.
Yeah, you got it, yeah.
Okay.
Not
Awesome.
Buttercup, Blossom.
That would be great, and I would love to hug your parents if that were your sister's name. So, okay. What is
Like Jesse.
you're just Jesse? What is my favorite movie? Is it The Aristocats? The one that plays outside of the cathedral elevators.
It's a great movie.
Do love that one. Is it Dirty Dancing? Or the one that plays in Towers Lobby?
I'm gonna go the one in Towers Lobby. No, Dirty Dancing.
No, yeah, okay. I was nervous, yeah.
Yeah.
You got it, yeah.
Final answer.
Good
I got
job.
it?
Good
All right.
job.
Last one for you. What did I text you on April 25th, 2016? A, this is Jesse Irwin. You're welcome in advance.
Okay.
B, if this is about the backup dancing, I'm game. C, did you get that cream I needed for my weird rash? Whoops, wrong person, haha. I don't even know the answer. D, seriously, I don't have a weird rash, please don't tell anyone.
Is this like from your actual phone? Like
Yeah.
So
They
you
went through
texted
my
me-
phone.
You
and
texted
were
me
looking.
one of these things.
I texted you one of these.
Okay.
I hope it wasn't A.
April 25th. I feel like the backup. I think we almost back. Did we almost do backup dancing or something? I think it's that one. Is that it?
B, if this is about the backup dancing, I'm game.
Yeah. I think that's
Cindy Harper, we will be right back with Yabaso, the African dance team. Don't go away. For our final act of the evening, I'd like to bring out a dance team that is called Yabaso. And if you don't know what Yabaso means, it means we're the shit. Not even a joke. That's actually what it means. So for our closing act for the evening, they are a traditional and modern African dance team. They perform all over campus and all over the city of Pittsburgh. Their annual showcase is April 14th in Belfield Hall at 6:30 p.m. Please welcome to the stage Yabaso!
Freestyle.
When you look back at you, I mean that doggy style, puppy whisper. So hot it in the fire fever. If you can't broke it off, hasta la vista. Lan afi, ava, power, grab it, lego, no, bodo, cover, tattoo, color, wow, summer. Tick tock, broke it, set it, broke it. So hot, somehow you got extra, forget me not. When it's sweet, you, what you say?
Brace on it, me like to brace on it. I'm like to bucket too. Me like to brace on it, I'm like to bucket too. I'm like to bucket too. Me like to brace on it, I'm like to bucket too. Bucket too.
I saw you bad.
When me a bend over, me a wine and catch. Inna the air, me a wine and catch. And a girl can't test how me wine and catch. It's no you love it, how me wine and catch.
Check a premium up when you wine and catch. Position like a W, wine and catch. Wine up your good body, girl, punch on the block. You got the gift. So some wine and catch. Hey, now where you come from, wine for me. Your shoes are running like a pepper, still wine for me. Like a tennis ball, me when you fling me, give me. Girl, the style about me, baby, piggy. When you wine and catch, baby, me one brother. It's a new style, I go give you your daughter. Come me mix you up like me mix smarter. Baby, me yeah, you mix master.
Thank you so much to Dr. Jerry Allen, Sydney Harper, Sydney Cannon Bailey, Yabaso, our staff, the band, the writing, the marketing, the production, the talent, everybody who was in the room tonight, and especially you guys, the audience. Thank you so much. Have a great Women's Empowerment Week. Empower the women around you, and have a great night.